since the end of the season, and there was a Cheez-It Bowl loss to Oklahoma State that some people get upset about. Some people consider it exhibition play. People are all over the map when it comes to their evaluation and weight given to bowl participation. Of course, you lose your starting quarterback in that game. You get down 21-0. Valiant comeback, interesting game, quality opponent. I was interested from the standpoint of the second game of the season that I felt as though Miami was playing a team on their tier, the first one being North Carolina. So I wanted to see what the competition was going to look like on the field. Both teams had prominent players missing. So just, do you take anything away from that game? And if so, what do you take away looking toward 2021?
I mean, we just got to come out ready to play more. If you look at all these losses that we've had recently, we come out and I'm tired of hearing they're showing us something that we didn't expect or we didn't see it on the film. And yeah, we got down 17-3 or 21-0, but we kept fighting or da-da-da. Where's the game where Miami comes out 21-3? It's in the lead. I'm tired of hearing this shit, man. I'm sorry to curse, but I'm sick of it. Honestly and truly. And this was another one of those. And again, you had a kid who had one catch the entire year. The entire season had one catch, this kid. And he hits you for 6 and 103 touchdowns. Some unknown freshman kid from the middle of nowhere is like, what are you?
We'll see if he's going to be good next year, though.
I don't care.
I think you're talking about Presley, right?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to say that he's
talking him up after the game. I saw some reports that he's supposed to be a factor next year.
Yeah. No, but that's next year. You still had all your scholarship guys. You still had your star wide receiver playing until he decided at halftime he was going to quit and everything, and then they want to go behind the spin. Oh, well, we heard all week long that he was only going to play a half. Miss me with the bullshit. But you have a guy who has one catch all year long, and he hits you for 3 touchdowns. 6 catches and 100-something yards in that game. That's unacceptable. Those are the kind of things that I cannot abide by. Those are the kind of things, those are the performances by the Blake Baker defense that I cannot rock with. How are you every week unprepared, not ready for anything? And again, look, I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. But if we're writing it, if we're tweeting it, if we're talking about it on here, if you listen to other podcasts, Storm Surge with Kev, Gabby, and them, and Ricky, you know what I mean? If you listen to all these other shows that are out there, Marsh's podcast, 247 Sports, the Canes podcast, you got the Orange Bowl Boys with Roman, you got all these other podcasts, and we're all talking about it, writing about it, critiquing it, previewing it, talking about these things, tweeting about it or putting it on social. If everyone around is talking about these things, yet people in the building don't know and can't see them to the point where you're going down and losing these games or falling behind in a deficit, that's not something that I can abide by. That's the kind of thing why I said that Blake Baker had to go. And this was another performance that was emblematic of that kind of a thing, where I don't work in sports full time, but I could see some of these things coming, and the coaches who were paid handsomely from the University of Miami could not. That's a problem, And again, if you're looking at all these, North Carolina, they straight up said Miami was running a high school defensive scheme. It was going to be easy for us. We saw it from the first play. So, yeah. No, we're going to kill them. That's something that we should be saying about, Savannah State. That's something that we should be saying about against, some of these teams. You know what I mean? Like, and they said that about Miami, and clearly, had the most yards against Miami ever, had the most rushing yards against Miami ever, did North Carolina. They didn't just talk about it. They went out there and they did it, and then they talked about, oh yeah, that was easy. Oh my God, yeah, that was terrible. They were in a high school defense. We had seen that. We just said we're going to run these 3 concepts, and they can't stop it because their defense is so ineffective and pedantic and just low level in its composition. I can't. And again, it wasn't the running game in the exact same way as North Carolina, But the bowl game showed a lot of those same kind of things. I can't rock with that, And I will credit Miami and a Manny Diaz coached team that they won't quit, because Manny Diaz's coach teams did not quit. Well, I mean, North Carolina, it was just body blow after body blow. They kept trying, but we were clearly overmatched. But again, North Carolina, with all due respect to them, they're not of the caliber where they should be able to do that to us. They're not Clemson. They're not Georgia. They're not Alabama. They're not 19 LSU. They're not Ohio State. They're not Texas from, whatever year that was, the Vince Young 2005. They're not that kind of team where they should be doing that to Miami with comparable talent. That performance should not happen. And you saw glimpses of that same kind of thing in the bowl game. But again, Miami did not quit, and I do like that about them. So the personal fortitude, the stick-to-itiveness, all those kind of things. But, I mean, there are a lot of things from the bowl, and the good, the bad, and the ugly from the bowl game is still up. So I did write that. But, yeah, I mean, there were some things to like, and there were definitely some things to hate, and I hated it. Like, I'm tired of watching this team come out and just be out-coached, out-prepared every single week. I don't like it. I mean, outside of Florida State and Louisville, when did Miami really step on somebody's neck? When did you come out and when in the last few years, except for those games? I mean, the last 2 years against those teams, so that's 4 games, maybe 1 or 2 others in the last.
Duke.
Okay, Duke is 5. Notre Dame 2017 is 6. But again, 2017 is 4 years ago now. So 6 games in 60? Shut up, Google. But 6 games out of 60 where you come out and you're the dominant team ready to play, or just clashing with a team from the front, instead of just, oh my God, we gave up all these touchdowns. Oh, Virginia Tech a couple of years ago. Oh, God, we're down 28-0 after the first quarter. Oh, my God, let's go to N'Kosi Perry and see if he can bring us back. I don't know what's going on. I'm tired of that kind of stuff, man. And again, we saw glimpses of that in the bowl game. So, I mean, there's a lot to like and there's a lot to hate. But and again, I'm not saying that Miami's back. I'm not saying that we need to be a championship college football playoff contender this next year. I would like that to be the case. But you got to make steps forward, not steps back. And I saw people were saying, as a parting shot here, people were talking about, okay, well, as long as Miami's ranked at the end of next season, that's a step forward. Miami was ranked at the end of the 2016 and 2017 seasons in the AP poll, right? But Miami was ranked this year. So I posed the question and didn't get an answer. But I said, you're going to take the losses and the way that they looked against Clemson, North Carolina, and a bowl game next year, and that's going to be an acceptable season to you? I don't think so. So, it's going to be interesting because everybody in America is bringing back all these guys. From the roster because they got this, extra year amnesty. Clemson's bringing back everybody on defense because, of course, they would. But I really just want to see this program take steps forward, and that means a 2-loss season, in its entirety, not 3 and 4. I would even say, a 1-loss season, that's hard to come by because, that's close to being perfect, and perfect seasons are even tougher to come by. But yeah, a 3 and 4 loss season, it's not good enough. Over a 14 game season, that's 10 and 4. Is that going to be acceptable for you? Is that something that for a Miami Hurricanes fan or supporter, somebody who watches this program, follows this program, you're going to say, yes, I feel that that's a step forward from last year. Me, myself, personally, I'm not. So I know what the goals are. I know what the goals should be. And hopefully we're working towards having those come to fruition. But, it's going to be an interesting kind of a thing because, again, 9-3, 10-3, for me next year, it's better than the alternative. Because, again, in the very recent past, we've had losing seasons. I'm going to throw that out there. 10-3 is not good enough for me for next year. So I've maintained It's the mentality, at least from before this season. 7-5, and prove me wrong, but 7-5, and we're searching for a new coach. So, like I said, I'm really looking towards a 2-loss season really being the thing for Miami next year. And I know that that's a tough ask because you start with Alabama. And I know that the names are going to be different, but that's still going to be that Crimson Tide. And that's a monster right now. So you're really talking about a 1-loss season outside of Alabama. Miss me with the fact that I'm a fake fan because I think that we're going to lose. Miss me with that. Miss me with all of it. You know and believe that Alabama's going to win that game. Yes, you, Miami Hurricanes fan who's listening to this and watching this right now. You do. You can lie to yourself. You can lie to whatever. You and I both know the truth. So you're looking at a 1-loss season outside of Alabama being what the goal and standard needs to be for next year. I'm not going to lower what my standards are just to make other people feel happy. And if we fall short of that, I'm going to talk about it. Now, you have a 9-3 season, so you have 2 losses outside of Alabama. It's 1 point here, 3 points there. Looks good. You're close. You can rationalize your way through it. But as I sit here right now, look, man, that regular season got to be 10-2 with a Coastal Division championship, period. That is the goal. That's the standard. And, that's what we have to work for. So we have to have goals and we have to have standards and we have to have a process to get there. And if it doesn't look like, Manny Diaz is the guy who can reach those goals and take this program to where it needs to be, then we need to look in a different direction. But I'm not going to be sorry for having these high aspirations because of the talent on this roster, for the schedule as it's composed. And I know, like I said, it's tough because you got Alabama off the top and you're going to count that as an L. But whatever, anybody, anywhere, anytime. So we're going to go out there. We're going to do our best. We're going to fight, pride on Miami U, and we're going to keep it moving. But I'm not a person who's going to sit here right now in January and say that a 3-loss season, a 4-loss season next year is going to be acceptable. If you want to hear that, look somewhere else because I'm not going to be that guy.